Everyone, welcome back to PGL Bucharest Major 2018 SEA Qualifiers. We are here in the pointy end of the qualifier. We're getting into the last couple of days, and this is what it all comes down to. It's a single elimination bracket. We've got TNC and Fnatic on this side. We have, I believe, I should actually know this before I say any of this. We got Clutch and Execration on the other side. I believe both matches are actually going on at the same time, so if you're interested in Clutch versus Execration, that'll be happening, I think, just on Dota TV. I don't know if there's a stream, but I'm Baseskip. It's great to be casting for you guys, and joining me here for this SEA showdown, this grudge match, is Lumi. So, Lumi, what do you make of it?
Well, this is, I believe, the number 2 and the number 3 SEA teams, as Mineski is generally the team that is always taking up the SEA invites. So these two teams are duking out, and recently it's Fnatic getting the best of a couple of them, and TNC needs to strike back. But I'm pretty sure what everyone is all kind of worried about right now is the departure of Ohio, and the new member of the team is going to be Universe. And did you check whether Universe is going to be playing in SEA, or is he playing in?
It looks like he is in SEA, at least from what I could tell. I can pull up the console again. I don't actually know what his yeah, he's got 11 ping, so he has it's very unlikely that he's anywhere else. Actually, physically impossible. That but there you go. So he could, who knows when he got there, how when he arrived. I saw some people posting about his Smurf playing games in SEA, so maybe he's been here for a couple of days, but this is his debut on this Fnatic roster, and to me it's a little bit interesting because I feel like Ohio was working quite well with the previous incarnation, but I mean, Universe he's got a bunch of qualifying points attached to his name at the moment, and maybe Fnatic, like you're saying, maybe they're not happy with just playing second fiddle in SEA. They feel like this is a step to move forward, so we'll see how it works out for them here.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, as an outsider, I don't know how much I could read into the situation, but one thing for sure is that Ohio was performing, at least, as a player, so we don't really know what's going on behind the scene. In terms of the play style of both of the off-laners, they play relatively the similar amount of off-lane heroes. SA Universe has, let's say, Faceless Void, whereas Ohio plays, I think, Pit Lore a bit better, but I think mechanically both of these players are close enough, and they play relatively the same style. I think Ohio was a more farm-oriented player, and same for Universe. And as of late, Envy has been playing more of a sacrificial carry role, allowing Abed as well as Universe, and to a certain extent DJ actually, to get a ton of farm as well. You'll see Jackie always taking up the more of the dangerous spots on the map, kind of farming in the suicide lane. And then this is more like 20 minutes in the game. He's always split pushing, and as a result, he does pick up a lot of deaths, but if that's what the team needs, that's what he gives to the team.
Yeah, and it's not that he's not getting farm, right? I think that's a key point to make, is that Envy is still finding a decent amount of farm on most of the heroes that he's playing. It's just where that farm is coming from is kind of the big distinction as to the Fnatic playstyle at the moment. But we see the Doom picked up. This has been quite a popular pick in this SEA qualifier over the last couple of days. I think it's been quite heavily banned as well. The Omni Knight is also comes to mind as something that's been really hotly contested in SEA. Fnatic, I don't know if they were probably watching that earlier series, but I think it also just makes good sense. They know TNC, they ban out that Shadow Fiend. Not going to give Cuckoo any opportunities here, and quite an early Phantom Lancer pickup. It's interesting, PL versus Tiny, because on the one hand you kind of think like, oh, Tiny has a cleave and he has some AoE, so surely he's okay against PL, but I think in practice Phantom Lancer actually turns out to be quite a good hero against Tiny. He gets kited around quite easily. You sick some illusions on him, and he doesn't really want to use tree grab charges to clear them out. He also attacks kind of slowly, and you throw a defusal charge on top of that, and Tiny can just kind of be done when it comes to a team fight. Because one of the big things we've seen from I think a lot of the really effective Tiny players in this qualifier has been their ability to go in, burst somebody down, and then reset, wait for their blink again, and then get another combo off. And PL is going to prevent you from ever making that happen. So I like this opening to the TNC draft.
Yeah, as quickly as Tiny could kill PL illusions, he could just make them again, just via auto attack. So sometimes it's not that reliable. Do you think this is a 4-position Doom, or is this an off-lane Doom?
Well, I think if it's pause for Doom, then it's a hard 5 Rubik, which I'm really not a fan of. I think it's going to be, I would think it's going to be DJ on the Rubik.
Sure.
So I'm thinking that it's off lane. In terms of how much he can get done in the off lane, I guess that's the big question. They do still have like another hero to grab here. Oh, well, never mind. Maybe not. Legion Commander going to get picked up.
This is also not completely out of the question that it could be a position 1 Doom. Envy used to play that.
That's true.
Yeah, actually, back in the Cloud9 days where he played position 1 Doom, and I think it was Aoi that played position 4 for the team, they would just have Envy like start in the jungle actually and give Aoi safe lane farm for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, now that you've
obviously not possible anymore given the fact that the jungle doesn't spawn till 1 minute. But Envy safe lane Doom is at least a thing that has been done in the past.
Yeah. The Legion Commander pick, I'm not a hero that I'm a huge fan of, but it is definitely quite good against Phantom Lancer. TNC, alright, another SEA staple. Going to be picking up the Razor here. So, not a whole lot of AoE teamfight on their side, right? Very single target focused, but that's kind of the draft so far, right? Neither team has gone into escalating things too much, at least in terms of the AoE teamfight situation. There are some long cooldowns on the field, but in terms of big AoE stuns, there's not really that much.
I feel that the Doom and LC also cover relatively the same basis. They're both very good against BKB heroes, but TNC just answers back by not picking any BKB heroes, or heroes that rather buy BKB pretty commonly. So I don't know. I don't know if I like the LC and Doom on the same team. It makes the lanes really weird, like you mentioned as well. Gonna be interesting to see how things gonna shape up to be.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe the Doom is the pause for, and then we just see Doom plus Legion running at the off lane, but I don't know if they're necessarily going to accomplish that much there. TNC still have the mix-up as to where the PL and Razor are going, right? They can choose to set their lanes. Obviously, they have to choose their items right at the start, so they can't really swap it, but can have the Razor mid or the Phantom Lancer mid, just depending on the matchup situation. And Earth Spirit is going to be the ban, so Fnatic's read is that it's an off-lane Nyx Assassin then? And TNC have the option to pick a position 4 for Tims?
Or a position 3?
Yeah, I mean, just put Tims on the Nyx.
Offlane Timber seems pretty insane right now if they could get away with it.
Oh, that's true. Fnatic have
3 melee strength hero.
3 melee strength hero lineup, yeah. Alright, now it's going to be... Ooh!
Position 4 Naga, right? This is...
Yeah, I like this actually. The sleep is really good disengage against the Doom and the Legion Commander. You're gonna have to be a little bit careful with your positioning around the Tiny, but
10 seconds remaining.
I think it's quite good. The lockdown from the net is also really good with the Razor, right? So that's gonna help him quite a bit. And even just using the link with the song is also pretty potent. So I like this quite a bit. And for Fnatic, is that a Envy Monkey King?
Draft, I don't know, dude. This draft is looking so weird.
Okay, yep.
Alright, Universe LC, so it has to be a position 4 Doom.
So it's a hard
and a position 5 Rubik. I mean, can you in theory put Pi on Doom? Yeah, that's exactly what they do. Position 5 Doom. I guess when Doom is being countered so hard, you could just put him as a position 5 and he could actually get farm because of Devour. That's an interesting way to go about it.
And then just try and get a couple of regular support items. I mean, he's not going to be he's not going to be doing any other Doom things, right? Like he's not going to be surviving much in fights with Scorched Earth or doing damage that way. He's probably not going to be running in and getting Infernal Blades off that much. So it's mostly just, I guess, the ultimate, just hopefully finding the PL this game, right? I think the other heroes are... Razor is super unimpressive to Doom. That's one of the biggest things about him as a hero, right? Is if you get your Link off and you pop your ulti, who cares if you get doomed at that point? You've already pressed all the buttons that you need to in the fight. So I guess we'll see how this works out. But yeah, I am skeptical of the Fnatic draft.
I mean, you could also pick up a creep as a Doom, as an aura for the team. That's definitely relatively helpful. And of course, any game that Jackie is in, we're going to get a pause right in the beginning.
Just because?
I believe I've lost 6 months of my life just sitting through these pauses.
Yeah. Can you comment on the level of how tactical the pauses are?
No, there's no tactical to it. It's just somebody is not ready.
Somebody needs to go to the bathroom, or their hands are cold. Who knows? But all right. So we got a DJ Rubik. In terms of how good of a Rubik game this is, I don't think it is a very good Rubik game. Honestly, the best steal that I can see is Impale, and that's like not that impressive. A good Witch Doctor is always going to cover his Death Ward. He's going to toggle Voodoo Restoration. I mean, DJ might get it at some point. But he should only get it like the once. Naga,
song?
Yeah, the song is helpful, but it's the same kind of situation, right? Where Naga should never really let you have it. Though the AOE is quite a bit smaller now on the lower levels, so I don't know. Maybe if Rubik gets a lens or something, he can still snag it. I don't actually know off the top of my head.
You got to be relatively careful because ending the song
counts
the same as
spell,
casting the song.
Right?
Yeah. So you got to end the song and then immediately Riptide, which may or may not have good targets near you to Riptide. But yeah, we'll talk about the Rubik steals as we see them.
Yeah. All right. So in terms of the lanes, they are going to have the Razor just heading down towards the safe lane at the moment. Raven rather opting for the boots first. Fnatic, what's Universe got? I mean, the beginnings of a Soul Ring. Pretty standard offlane fare for him. Doom's got some boots. So DJ is actually playing the slightly more sacrificial role, at least as far as these first few minutes go, buying up the obs and the courier and
Somebody
stuff.
take a screenshot. This is literally the first time that Pi ever started with boots first as a support.
Somebody
I don't think I've ever
print it
seen
out.
myself.
He can put it on the fridge.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, this is interesting from Sam H. Check this out.
This is the next level ward.
I haven't seen this one
30
before. I mean,
seconds.
Sees nothing.
It's an observer ward that sees nothing. Yeah, but they don't see
blocks.
it. Yeah. Well, actually, maybe they realize that. Yeah, they're pinging because they actually have their own ward over here. It looks like Fnatic saw Sam H go into those trees with a ward, and they saw him come out with no ward. So they
What if he just dropped it on the ground?
inside the trees.
Inside a tree.
Yeah, maybe he's going back for it.
Yeah, pick it up, walk it back out.
All right, so 2 bounty runes apiece, pretty standard stuff. Looks like Abed can be grabbing this one. You don't have to be facing a rune to pick it up, so gets the efficiency there of looking away. Cool guys don't look at bounty runes. Paladai is going to try and steal the wave with his boots. He's in a sneaky little spot at the moment.
Oh, and he even baits him away, Universe. He's like, come link me. And then now he pulls.
And now Paladai pops out of the trees.
It's actually pretty nice. He needs to run away from the Razor.
Yeah,
though,
don't get hit
Razor's-
by the Razor. He's angry. He's big and angry.
Alright. Mid block looks like Abed's got the better block here.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Feels like this is going to be a pretty rough matchup for Cuckoo, so Rich Doctor is going to come around and help him out a little bit.
Yeah. Fortunately, Witch Doctor, one of the better like laning / zoning supports, right? His base damage is quite good. His animation is quite good. So decent amount of harassment. Speaking of harassment, Tim's just punching DJ. This is one of the things that people kind of dislike about Rubik as a support at the moment, is he doesn't really zone or harass all that well, right? Then Nagasan gets up in his face and there's not much that he can do. He's actually already skilled the Fade Bolt. And Witch Doctor's now up here, so 1437 gonna eye them off, and Envy having to sit a long way back. Still 0 CS to his name. I think the plan with this Monkey King pick was to put a lot of pressure on the Nyx, but no such luck when TNC actually managed to set their lanes up like this. So I guess Universe is gonna get a decent amount of farm at bottom, but Envy's gonna have to play the catch-up game.
Yep. I like what they're doing here on the bottom lane. Pai's pretty much only gonna sit here till level 2. And then he pieces out into the jungle to start finding some creep, allowing Universe to... I mean, it's not a decent 1v1, but the lane is pulled back enough that I think Universe should be able to get some farm.
Right,
I just don't know how they're going to kind of rescue this top lane. This top lane seems pretty impossible, even if the Doom comes in.
Yeah, I don't think the Doom necessarily changes much. Right? They lift back into an Infernal Blade, but then there can be a Net or a Riptide or the Coconut bouncing. The counter initiation from TNC is actually quite good. So mid lane kind of seems like a win for Fnatic. Bottom lane probably gets more difficult for Universe once the Razor is actually left to his own devices. I mean, it's not like they've even been zoning out the Razor that badly with the 2v1. He's already got 5 CS. But this is probably not what he was hoping to be up against, right? He wanted to just use the boots, completely drive Universe out. But Pai doesn't really have anywhere else to go, like we've been saying. So I guess he's going to go take up residence in the jungle for a bit. And maybe a good creep can lead to something, like you've been saying. Alright, DJ gonna reconnect quickly, it looks like.
I'm busy checking very important things.
Oh yeah? Like what? Like the AGDQ schedule?
I think it's already over, right?
Is it? Oh yeah, I think the... Oh, alright. Looks like maybe a router restart coming in for Team Fnatic.
I'm seeing if the VODs have been uploaded yet.
Ah, okay. When does the roster lock period close? Are we in phase 2 yet? I've lost track.
I've lost track as well. That's definitely not one of the dates I keep attention to. Not relevant to me.
What's on calendar at the moment, Lemmy?
Galaxy Battle.
Galaxy Battles 2.0.
The best tournament.
Yes, the best tournament.
And then Shanghai.
Nice.
For Starladder.
Nice.
The also best tournament of February.
You're getting some primo gigs, Lemmy. There you go.
The amount of Ds I've sucked to get these gigs. I don't get them for free, you know?
Yeah. Is that why you were reminded earlier when looking at Bane spamming his enfeeble on everybody?
It was a gruesome picture.
Yeah.
A gruesome reminder.
Yeah. So the one thing that we haven't mentioned is that the last time that Universe and Envy played together was a ill-fated affair. I guess we'll
Team Secret.
Yeah, Team Secret version.
Are we taking the over under on whether they're gonna last longer this time or not?
I mean, maybe.
I mean,
I'm sure though they're gonna last at least this roster lock, right?
Yeah. So it's gonna be longer, right, than the Team Secret one. The Team Secret one is like 2 months. I was actually having this discussion. Now that Fnatic has no Malaysians, does it still make sense for the rest of the team to stay in Malaysia? But I guess the the infrastructure is already, like the team house, for example, is already in Malaysia. The support staff, I imagine, is, you know, Malaysian and whatnot.
Yeah, I can imagine that they'll probably still stay there. I mean, maybe they'd go into boot camping somewhere else for another event if they've got a bunch of stuff going on in EU. But seems like they'd be spending most of their time in Malaysia.
It's definitely one of the cheaper places to live, cost of living.
Yeah.
The food's good and cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's moist and hot. That's a minus, by the way, not a plus.
You just have to you just gotta make sure that they know you're entering the country, Lumi. That's the only trick.
Oh man.
That's
a story to tell.
Yeah, that was a story. The Major League.
That was also the best tournament.
Yeah, that was actually the best tournament. That also had Fnatic in it. Oh
yes.
Oh, my stream is temporarily on Struggle Street. I will keep you posted as to. Alright, what's going on here? Nyx Assassin taking some damage. We are back. We are unpaused. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, at least not too much has happened just yet. If we do have to swap around. Raven taking some damage off Pi. He's got his level 2. Managed to go and find a Centaur to devour up, but Raven still doing just fine. Tiny pulling ahead a little bit on this mid lane, in fact. I'm interested to see what kind of build Abed goes for here. Do you think he goes for the maxed out tree grab just to try and win the lane that way, or do we see something similar to what we've been seeing against all the Queen of Pains, where you max out the toss and just use that for harassment?
Seems like maxing toss is the way to go. I think I could have seen it go either way. Oh, the courier. I like it. Microing the illusion towards it. I'm more curious in terms of what role he's going to play in the mid game. Is he going to create space for MV, or is it going to be the other way around?
Alright, I don't know if my stream is recovering here.
Alright, well, just give me the go.
Naga.